Hey guys, Gunbuff here. So this week I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is being cross-eye dominant. So in my case, I'm right-handed but left-eye dominant. And there are a few techniques that I've learned over the years that I want to share with you, and I'm going to do that in later videos, particularly with handgun, that are very effective. Matter of fact, they're so effective you won't even know that you're different, or that anybody else shooting near you would even know that you are shooting differently. Long guns are a little more tricky. When it comes to shotguns, however, because there are mostly no rear sights on shotguns except for tactical shotguns, you shouldn't have much of a problem because all your life you've been looking with both eyes at a target, right? Anytime you look at something, you look at it and you're using both your eyes. So cross-eye dominant shooters don't really have much of a problem when it comes to wing shooting. Because again, they're looking at distance at the target, not really focusing on the sights anyway at all. So you're really not at a disadvantage there. But when it comes to traditional rifle, whether that's semi-automatic or bolt, you have a big decision to make. Whether you're going to shoot off your dominant eye's shoulder, in my case that would be my left shoulder, or whether you're going to shoot off your non-dominant eye's shoulder. And that can be tricky. It can take a lot of time and money because you're going to waste all that ammo to reteach yourself how to shoot off one shoulder or the other. In my case, I tried it for about 2 years with not very good results. I can do it, sure, in a pinch. I'm sure I could do it, particularly if I had a lot of time to line up the shot. But quickly and very accurately, no. So muscle memory is king, so I decided to stay with my right shoulder even though I am left-eye dominant. And the easiest way to help you to do that, to shoot with your non-dominant eye, is to change how your long gun is set up. And in my case, what I found is if you use an EOTech red dot optic, it really helps out. And that's because it has a really big window on it. And so if we look at my AR, you can see how big of a window that is. And by the way, this is a completely clear, nothing in the chamber weapon. So we're totally safe. But the EOTech probably has the biggest field of view of any of the red dots out there. Now there's a couple others, but they're very expensive. And so for the money, I think this is your best bet if you're cross-eye dominant. It just gives you the ability to snap up the weapon and to look down range and to find that target without really closing your other eye. Now sometimes I'll have to squint it a little bit, or out of habit I'll close it, but frankly I don't have to. I can just go up and I can see it, and wherever the dot is I can squeeze off the round, and that's where the round is going to go. So that's the easiest way on a semi-automatic weapon. On a bolt gun, it gets a little bit more tricky because there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of scopes for you to choose from. The easiest and probably the most affordable scope that I have found for cross-eye dominant shooters to put on their bolt guns is a shotgun scope. In my case, I settled on the Nikon Pro Staff 2-7x32 shotgun scope. And the reason I did that is because it has an incredibly long eye relief, over 4 inches. And so you don't have to be so critical when you get behind the scope. You can just settle in and you can see the crosshairs. It is not that important which scope you buy, but that you buy the one that gives you the biggest field of view for whatever type of hunting or tactical shooting you're doing. Because if you don't, if you have to spend time behind the gun looking for it, you're gonna regret that, because it's gonna be distracting, and therefore you're just not gonna break a clean shot or get the most out of your training. So shotgun scopes seem to be a really good cheap fix, as well as the big wide red dots. Now there are other red dots that are really, really good out there. The Aimpoint Micra, the T1 and the H1 are great optics. They're tough as nails. I mean, you can go look at Larry Vickers and he'll show you how awesome those scopes are. Unfortunately, they're only about 25 millimeters wide, maybe a little bit bigger, and they do not give a cross-eye dominant shooter like myself the ability to find that dot quickly. Now, they make a few other products that are bigger, wider viewing red dots, but they're expensive. And so for the money, just a plain Jane EOTech, it's pretty cheap. You're going to find them for around $400, $350 in through there. And they take cheap batteries. You don't have to use 123A lithium batteries. You're just going to use plain old AA's. So in that regard, I think for the money, particularly if you're just going to go try it out, these are great choices. Now later on in other videos, I'm going to show you some pistol techniques that really work for me. I'm also going to show you more about how to acquire sights when it comes to your long guns, and a few other things that will help you, and decisions along the way to show that you can overcome cross-eye dominant. I've been shooting that way my whole life. You know, for a while there, I was never really accurate. And then I figured out that indeed I was not using the correct eye. And so I had to make a decision on how I was going to handle that. And really, the only two choices you have are you going to keep shooting the way you are shooting and change a few things like your gear and your technique? Or are you going to retrain your body, all your muscle memory, and the way you think about guns, and go to the other shoulder of your dominant eye? So we'll explore all that, and be safe, be good. Thanks for watching.